Hey guys, welcome to another review right here on ToyWorldOrder.com, starring me, Devall, and my best non-puppet pal, Dave Draper!
Yay! Yay. Shadow Warrior.
No, stop.
Shadow Warrior.
As much as you'd like to hit me, stop. Gang, we're back with another review now. A while back, that we promised that we'd start coming to you more often together like this, as every Kickstarter that's ever been backed by Dave started to ship, which is everything. And one of the first amazing Kickstarter projects that Dave backed all in has shown up. It's finally gotten out of the shipping docks.
Out of customs.
Yep, out of customs.
I will be honest, I was a little worried there because I've been down this road before. But fortunately, Warpo apparently didn't antagonize the nice people at customs.
Not at all.
So that they didn't burn their stuff and dump it into the Pacific Ocean.
This is true.
We don't have to name names
where
that happened.
We will not. But again, of course, we're coming to you with a review of the amazing Warpo Toys Legends of Cthulhu line that was kickstarted in the summer of last year.
Yeah, it was before August. Because I remember everything was done before August, because that's when I ran into Eric Aranya, who did another Kickstarter.
Yes.
And we were all kind of giving him a hard time for being a 100,000-aire, because he of course is part of Boss Fight Studios, which is another Kickstarter that has been a little delayed, which doesn't surprise me. But that one's going to be mind-blowing when we get to that one. Although this one's really cool too.
This one is amazing, actually.
Yeah,
this one is pretty darn neat. Now,
there was literally, after going all in on the boss fight one, I was done. I was like, there's nothing on earth that's going to get me to Kickstarter again. And then it was like, hey,
I sent Dave a text message that said, look at what Warpo Toys is doing for their Kickstarter. And Dave sent me very not nice words back.
Yeah, there was much cursing.
But of course,
because it was literally the one thing that would get me to pony up more money.
Yes, it was. Literally the one thing. Dave loves HP.
I love me H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, loves him some H.P. Lovecraft. Now, of course, for backing this, in the box, Dave got a big old box of stuff in.
I did.
And for backing it, of course, he gets this really cool, this only the backer shipped, and this was at the bottom of the box. But it's, thanks for backing us up. A little, kind of like a little cool, thanks from the entire team at Warpo Toys. And then you can't really see it, but on the back, that small print is the name of every backer at every level of this Kickstarter, all on that one.
We still haven't found me.
We still haven't found Dave, but they're on there.
They're all somewhere.
He's on there somewhere.
It should be.
It's all different.
I gave them enough money.
Yes, so Warpo Toys was really cool to do that cool Warpo making yesterday's
Kickstarters usually do that. I've noticed they'll put that somewhere. When we went to the nerds, the guys who used to be Mystery Science Theater. They had a Kickstarter to do that show, and they did a list of the names. Yep. So it's usually a common thing for them to do a list of names somewhere.
Yeah. And then of course one of the Warpo Toys and the before we show the toys, they did a number of little special add-on pieces that weren't toys per se, but they were really cool little collectible items. Like they did a drinking cup. It's like one of those classic style, like little drinking cups.
I mean, the theme, the idea, the concept of this line was to do it as if it was a lost line from the 1980s.
Yes.
And that included in some of the peripheral stuff that you would get with a line like that. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do a lunchbox.
Yeah, I know.
But we did get a couple other cool things, like you would find.
Even though Dave,
for like G.I. Joe or for like He-Man.
Yes.
And yeah, well the
T-shirt.
T-shirts are a common Kickstarter thing.
Right. But very cool T-shirt.
Yeah, and one little thing I want to comment on about the T-shirt that I really appreciate is obviously I'm a big guy.
Dave's a husky man.
I'm a big guy, and a lot of these Kickstarters, they don't really do their T-shirts in particularly large sizes, so I'm usually not that excited about the T-shirt.
Right.
Which is why when I said earlier on the previous taping, I don't normally go down for the T-shirt. I don't normally choose that as an add-on because they're usually not in my size. So I really appreciate that they apparently understand that there are many Lovecraft fans are on the that big side. Yes. So I really do appreciate that. It's in my size. I love it. I'm wearing it today.
The T-shirt was one of them. Another one of the little add-ons was this very cool. They did very cool big coloring and activity book for the Legends of Cthulhu. Amazing. Ken Kelly art, classic artist Ken Kelly, who did Kiss albums, did the art for Mangalore Mountain. From Ideal, just amazing stuff. This is just great, beautiful graphic, and of course it looks like an old coloring book, which is pretty cool. Now you would think Now the back of it's cool too because it says, "Raining outside, no problem. You have your Legends of Cthulhu activity book to fill your day with fun, mystery, and excitement."
Well, and also this is the part of, I mean, it's all part of one art, but that's the part that actually appears on the backer cards.
Yes, this part here is what appears on the backer cards. This part here is what...
It's kind of the iconic image of the line.
Now you would think, well, Warpo Toys did a lot of cool stuff, but surely they just made this to look like an old coloring book, right? It's just like the printed covers and empty pages. Dear Lord, no.
No, it's got all kinds of activities. It's got puzzles. It's got mazes.
It is a freaking coloring book.
It's got word jumbles, which is like, you know, I never thought I'd live to see the day when like Rylak and, you know, Yog Sothoth would be in a
they have a
word jumble.
cutout and color Cthulhu Mask.
And the cool thing is, the whole thing tells a story that leads, the story leads to this image, to the iconic image of the professor kind of battling the Starspawn and the cultists and the Deep Ones, which is neat.
It's amazing. Warpo Toys did such a cool job with
this
really... This thing is friggin'
There's amazing
cool.
attention to detail with this.
Simply amazing. That is stunning. But one of the other cool little add-ons they did is, as part of their Kickstarter intro video, they recreated this little
well, they created a commercial to simulate what a commercial from the period would be.
Yes. Did an amazing job with it. And people were like, "That's really cool. Is there any way we can get a copy of that?" And they're like, "Oh, we'll look into it at the start of it." Well, they did.
Yeah.
And as one of the add-ons, you could get a Legends of Cthulhu VHS tape, which is the 30-second commercial. It's actually a 9-minute VHS tape, which is pretty much the entire length of their Kickstarter videos. It's about 9 minutes. The 30-second commercial is on here, but it is an actual VHS tape, people. They really did put it on a VHS tape, which is pretty darn amazing. I love this, that they went to the trouble to do this, which they didn't have to, but they went above and beyond and actually did this amazing, you know, with the side art here with the little thumbnail. I love the back of it. The exciting universe of H.P. Lovecraft is alive with Legends of Cthulhu posable action figures. A strange dream leads the professor to investigate a mysterious mountain. There he finds himself surrounded by the minions of Cthulhu. Will he find a way to stop the forces of evil, or will he succumb to the madness? You decide. And of course, it's not rated.
No.
But it's also in color, and it's been superior quality videotape recorded in the LP mode. So they went to the trouble to record it in the 4-hour mode, not the SP mode. Kids, this is a VHS tape. We used to have to use these before DVDs.
Yeah, I don't think kids even know what the DVDs are.
I don't know what DVDs are really, but we had to use these before. Back when cassette tapes and records were around, we used these to watch movies and stuff. Cartoons.
Wow.
Yeah. But very cool that they did this. That's friggin' awesome. That's pretty darn neat.
Again, attention to detail.
Yes. Large attention to detail. And then, of course, the figures that we're about to look at, sculpted by the legendary sculptor Eddie Mesquita, who did work on Masters of the Universe. He worked on iterations of Ninja Turtles, including the original Playmates line, Simpsons. He did a lot of stuff. He sculpted the classic Eldor figure that famously never was made, that everyone's seen prototypes of. Eddie Mesquita is a really well-known classic vintage sculptor, and Warpo hired him to sculpt these figures, which I have to say, before we show these figures, is one of the cool things about this line that I love so much, even though I didn't back it, but
no,
I didn't have the money to, but I love the fact that they did this. I was so excited when Funko was going to do all the reaction stuff, and when it came out, it looked horrible. It really does. It does not look great. In my personal opinion,
I would say there
are
a lot more misses than hits.
Whereas Warpo actually hired somebody that worked in that era to recreate that sculpting style, that knew how to do it because they've done it, and did an amazing job with it, and hence you get amazing figures like this. Like the amazing Spawn of Cthulhu. The card art for this is spectacular. Again, like we talked about on the coloring book, the back of the coloring book makes up this little side art, and when you turn it around, it's the front of the coloring book, so it's just reversed. The packaging here is really cool. It's reminiscent of classic Star Wars, kind of reminiscent of G.I. Joe. It really reminds me of the Knickerbocker Lord of the Rings line.
That's what it reminds me the most of.
Yes, it reminds me very much of the Knickerbocker stuff from Lord of the Rings, which is really cool. If anyone's never seen those packaged, take a look and then look at the pictures of these, and you're like, oh, I can see that. And of course, very cool. It's the Legends of Cthulhu logo up there, the name of the character. This little embossed Warpo Toys club member, Warpo Toys, the official Warpo fan club, was only for backers, the Kickstarter. Only the people that did the Kickstarter got these backer cards. So And then, of course, you know, the figures kind of loose in there. His
rattling around, his
accessories rattle around in there. And then the back, of course, gives the paragraph that we read on the back of the VHS tape, as well as the other figures in the line, and of course, again, that classic artwork. So these are really cool. I love the little peg hole cut there.
I was a little surprised that they didn't leave those unpunched.
Yeah. That would have been neat, but I get it.
I guess. So yeah, because they actually one of the things is they did the artwork to make it look like the card's been somewhat distressed too.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah, it looks like
there's a couple little details that make it look like it's
dinged.
It's been hanging around, like cared for, but you know, cardboard gets banged around. In 30, 40 years.
You've got the deep one.
Deep one. That was the guy. If you're going to do a Lovecraft line, you're going to do a deep one.
You're going to do a deep one. Very cool. You've got the professor there.
Nice cool 1920s dub.
Yes.
Or
the little
duds.
Duds. Comes with a little pistol and his little Spawn of Cthulhu.
His little Cthulhu idol, which is a key plot point in the actual story called Cthulhu.
Yes. So we've got the professor there, pretty cool. And then last but not least, on the figures, you've got none other than the cultist. Which is pretty darn neat. Amazing looking figure. Yeah. Now, of course, there were some stretch goals.
There were 4 stretch goals originally. We hit 2 of them, and we came so close to the 3rd one. And if I'm gonna knock Warpo on anything, it's that they didn't just go ahead and make that 3rd one. I'm a little annoyed about that because it was just a repaint of the professor's body with an HP Lovecraft head. And obviously, I would have loved to have had that.
I think they called it the author.
They called it the author.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, they never actually called him Lovecraft, but it was clearly H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
And I was a little annoyed that we got so close, and they're like, nah, because it wasn't like a new figure, it was just a new head.
Right.
And then the 4th one was a giant-sized
Cthulhu.
Shogun Warriors style Cthulhu.
That would have been awesome.
And that one was, even if you were all in, if we hit that goal, which was a pretty high goal, you would have had to buy that separately.
Yeah.
And there is talk, there is rumors in the wind that maybe that will get a second chance.
That will get a second chance.
Maybe another Kickstarter or something.
Yeah. So, and then also, again, because Dave, we unlocked 2 of the stretch goals.
We did get 2 of them.
The first stretch goal out of that was the Conjured Cthulhu.
Conjured Cthulhu.
There in the very cool translucent green. What we like to call plastic crack for Pixel Dan because he loves him some translucent figures. So we've got the Conjured Cthulhu there on the nice, just basically polybagged onto a little backer card there. Again, really, they could have just put it on a. They could have just stapled the back shut and sent it. But they went through the trouble to do the backer card, which is really cool.
If you got the emails, they actually had like an earlier bagged version, and they were not happy with it. They thought the bag was substandard quality.
Right.
So they really do care.
Yeah, they do. Warpo Toys does really care. And then the other one was the very cool High Priest. The cult leader.
Yes.
So you need a cult leader for your cult. So we've got the High Priest there. And again, very cool. Well, what do you say, Dave, we take a look at all 6 of these figures up close and personal? All right, let's take a look at these guys up close and personal. Let's put the 2 we'll put the 2 stretch goal guys to the side for a second here, and we'll start down the line like we did when we were unveiling them. We'll take a look. All right, this way. Let's take a look at none other than the very cool.
This is my favorite figure from the line. This is the whole reason that I backed it like I did, because I mean it's a really sweet. Now he's the spawn of Cthulhu, and that's canonical that they had smaller versions of Cthulhu running around.
Yes.
Which I'm sure Warpo was happy about.
Oh yes.
And he's a great, amazing representation of the character. I mean, they got all the little details. The dragon wings.
I mean, love that he's got a little pot belly going on there.
Yep. He's usually depicted as having a big old pot belly. Yep. And he's got the squid head and the bulging brain looking thing.
Of course, his wings here are removable.
They are a removable piece.
They're removable, and they did sculpt. Of course, they did sculpt and paint the underside of it too.
Yeah. I mean, they even gave him little painted dew claws in the back.
And of course, here we'll take a look at him because with the wings off, you can get a better idea of like the sculpt that the Mosquito really put together here. I mean, this is a beautiful sculpted figure,
and not
gorgeous.
Not to pick on Funko, but I mean, this is what I've been talking about, where these figures had detail.
Oh God, yes.
Like when we get to the professor, you'll really see it, because even though the facial sculpt isn't necessarily photo accurate, it's not something you would see on a figure today. There's detail, and in the body sculpt especially, there's all this detail that was there. That was, even back in the 70s, they had detail.
The Cthulhu, his head moves.
Yeah.
He's got 5 points of articulation, so as he moves his shoulders, he could sit down if he wanted to. He's got pegs in his feet, so you could put him on a play set. Hopefully, maybe cross your fingers. Warpo does a neat little like cave play set that Dave would probably.
That'd be expensive.
It would be expensive, but it would be very much worth it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it.
And again, the wings here, they just plug.
They just plug in.
Yep.
Very simple.
They just plug right into his back, and they're made out of
softer.
Yep,
kind of
soft rubber. Yep.
Not rubber, but a softer plastic.
Soft plastic, so they kind of bend and break there. Beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. And again, like Dave said, the paint on his dew claws there, you can see.
Well, his regular claws.
Yeah, his regular claws. His claws here, the feet, and then his dew claws back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good paint job.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, yes, he's green and he's green, but yes,
there's different shades.
So many different shades of green on this figure that.
Yeah, there's some really kind of nice little.
I love his red and black eyes he's got, which is really cool.
And of course, he comes with the Necronomicon, which is a huge part of the mythos element.
Yes.
So
the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, and that actually has some great sculpting
written by
on
Abdul Azhard.
Yeah, got some great sculpting details on the covers there.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's got the lock sculpted there. Yep. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool that he comes with that. Again, amazing figure.
Just that to me, that's the gem. That's the prize.
And then next we have
the deep one.
The deep one.
The worshippers of Father Dagon and Mother Hydra.
Yes.
These guys are really next to Cthulhu himself. These guys are probably the most iconic members of the mythos from Shadow over Innsmouth. They're very popular. The fish dudes, and of course the poor guys with the big popping eyes who become fish dudes.
Yes.
So
pretty darn neat, though. I mean, again, the detail on this figure, like from the eyes, I mean, when you think about it, Star Wars toys in the 70s, they had this many paint apps.
Dude, you could put that in the cantina.
Yeah, you could. You could put him in the cantina, and he would fit right in with all the other Star Wars toys. I mean,
he almost wouldn't fit in because he's a little too nice. But yeah, I mean, he's.
I mean, the detailing of the black. That's kind of airbrushed along his arms there. That he's got the
stripes.
The stripes airbrushed along his back there, and his fins here are the the green and the yellow there. Kind of I wouldn't say it's yellow, but it's more of a flesh tone, puke green maybe.
Sure.
His gills there have some great detail to them. I mean, the face. I mean, they've got scales. He's got scales sculpted on his head. For gosh sakes, I mean, just amazing. And of course, this figure also has 4 points. He moves. He can move the shoulders. His legs here can move, and again, he has the hole in the foot.
Yeah, he's a hole in the foot.
The other foot is sculpted.
I was a little annoyed the sculpt that because that makes him a little bit of a. He needs to have his little.
He has to have a staff to stand really. I mean, you could stand him back, but in order to stand him properly, and of course, his head can turn left and right. I mean, very cool. I mean, I love the teeth on him. The teeth are awesome.
Little kind of bulldog teeth in the back, yeah.
And I love that they painted the line across his mouth. This was a turtle figure in the new Playmate line.
That could easily be a turtle figure in the new Playmate line.
You wouldn't have these paint apps.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
But the teeth probably wouldn't even be painted.
But I mean, sculpt-wise, he would fit right in with fish face or whatever.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, he comes with a spear.
Yep.
And again, the spear, usually the figures were always well detailed. The weapons usually not so much.
No,
paint-wise,
they usually didn't do a lot of it.
But they're very, I mean, the sculpting details on the spear alone are really
cool. It looks like he's got some kind of barb that's tied to a stick.
Yes.
Which is, appropriate for these guys.
And then, of course, the spear can be held in his hand. And again, like Dave said, he kind of needs his spear to
stand up properly.
And I think I got it in the wrong hand. Hold on. You put it in his other hand.
No, you had it in the right hand.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I guess I did. Yeah, there we go.
Whoa.
Oh no. He has a little trouble standing up.
So moving on to the next figure.
Yeah, he has a little trouble standing up, but again, amazing figure. Just simply stunning.
I mean, let me put it this way. If you think he's awesome, he's probably my least favorite figure out of the whole bunch.
Yes.
And he's really nice.
Next up, we have the Professor.
Yep. In his 1920s duds.
His 1920 duds here. We'll take the little Spawn of Cthulhu
little statue.
His little gun.
Gun's got a little bit of a thick grip. So.
Yes. Now, of course, like Dave was talking about, we mentioned the Funko reaction stuff and how those lacked a lot of details, and how these are, while they're simple figures in design, there's so much detail.
Is simple. It's not. I don't know how to put it. It's just it's there. It's got enough personality that you get that it's a character.
Yes. Instead of looking cartoonish and comical.
Yeah. And then more importantly, the body has detail too.
Yes,
that's a big thing. That's the one thing they really missed.
The suit has folds. The sleeves, has wrinkles.
Details.
Yes, I mean
pockets.
Yes,
I mean he looks like a 1920s because Lovecraft wrote in the 20s, so he looks like a 1920s gentleman adventurer.
Yep, he's got his little bowler hat on, his little mustache, his gloves. I mean, just great looking figure. I mean, his everything on here. You can see the fingers sculpted in the gloves there are really cool. You see the side pockets on his coat there. His boots are really well sculpted. His back he's even got the little button part here on his back, the little strip that would have been like a leather strip, I think. So that's pretty cool. And again, he has his head can turn, his arms can move, his legs they have a little trouble moving because of how thick this part is here.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Dave's not going to have him sitting down anytime soon. He also has holes in his feet for a playset, so he can be pegged into a stand. But he comes with a little pistol, so he's got this little revolver there that's pretty nicely detailed. There we go. It's got some nice details to the pistol there.
Yeah,
pretty cool. And he can hold that in his right hand here and hold his pistol. And then he comes with a little bitty...
I love it. That's going to go with my Indiana Jones stuff. A little statue of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Which, again, is a major plot point in the actual Call of Cthulhu story.
Yes.
Is that the investigators are tracking these cults that all have these creepy little green statues of Cthulhu.
Yes. So
yeah, like...
Again,
I know it sounds weird to be so excited about an accessory, but I am. That's one of my top things out of this whole toy line is that tiny little statue of Cthulhu.
Dave was very excited when he
I was super excited.
I mean, look, it even has great,
little
brown,
eyes.
Yeah, it has little eyes. They painted brown, beside all the stripes there to make it stand out a little better. Just amazing stuff. He's probably my least favorite figure out of the line. He's still a really beautiful looking figure.
He's a cool figure. He's probably my third favorite.
Yeah.
And he's got my favorite accessory. So
yes.
That. Now this guy, it's funny because this guy, I really going into it thought was going to be my least favorite.
Yes.
I was the least interested in the cultist.
Was the cultist.
But they were going for nostalgia, and honest to God, once I got him open,
you went back to your childhood, didn't you?
It kicked in because there's just all these little. We talked about the details. He's got the vinyl cape, which was the Star Wars thing from up until Empire Strikes Back.
Let me take his accessories off.
Yeah, he got a little mask that comes off.
Yep.
But more than that, here's the thing: is if you grew up with Star Wars, you know that when they have these kind of flowing robes,
yes,
they turn them into legs and they split them up like this. And I really wanted to use the Emperor action figure to show off because this guy could easily be one of the Emperor's advisors or the Emperor himself.
Yeah, he could. Again, Warpo did some great work. I mean, the detail on this, the paint apps, the detail.
Yeah, I mean, he showed off like a weird, creepy green under the light.
Yeah, just beautiful work from the face on here. I mean, the face is amazing. The hood is actually, he's sculpted all the way around. We won't take off his vinyl cape.
We won't take off the vinyl cape.
But he does come with a little bit harder vinyl than what vintage Star Wars figures have.
I would imagine.
But, it is a vinyl cape. They did go out of their way to create recreate the feel of the vinyl cape and recreate that look with a newer form of vinyl. So you do have that vinyl cape, which is pretty darn neat. I mean, just a beautiful figure. I mean, just. And again,
there's a lot of details, and you'll notice that when we get to the cult leader, because the paint's different, you'll notice that some of the details that may not show up here, like the chain around his neck, and the little I don't know what you call them, but the little arrow things that are kind of
these things here.
Yeah, there's an actual name for that.
And of course, he comes with a Cthulhu staff.
Yep.
It's got a little Cthulhu on top, and his tentacles wrap all the way down it, which is pretty darn neat. And he can hold that in his right hand there. We'll have him hold it down a little farther there. He can hold that in his right hand. He comes with a little sacrificial dagger.
Yeah.
Which is molded in that kind of neon green there. And again, the detail on the hilt is simply amazing. And he can hold that in his left hand. We'll get that in there. There we go. And then the cool part of him is he comes with the very cool little snap-on Cthulhu Mask. He's got a little Cthulhu mask there that is beautifully detailed, and it's got two clips.
Got two little prongs.
Two little prongs
plugs
there.
Into place
and it plugs into the way the face is sculpted.
Not so easy to keep his accessories together now, is it?
And his face is recessed a little bit there in the hood, and basically you take the mask and you plug it right there, and it fits beautifully.
It's just neat.
Yeah,
it's just neat.
Yeah, it's stinking cool, is what it is.
Yes, it's stinking cool.
Very cool. And then last but not least, of course, are the two stretch goals, and we won't spend a whole lot of time on these, but
because they're the same figures, just done with different.
You've got your translucent plastic.
Yeah, he's done in translucent plastic,
which again is amazing. Again, removable wings, so his wings come off. The soft rubber, translucent plastic again.
Be a little careful with his head; it's a little wobbly.
Yeah, the head on this one's a little wobbly, so we won't move it around too much.
Yeah,
and the Necronomicon here is
also translucent.
Translucent green, so you can almost see through it, which is pretty cool.
Annihilators.
Yeah. Basically, it does remind you of an annihilator.
It does.
Of course, the only paint apps on him are his eyes.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which works.
Yeah, which works amazing. I mean,
that's a super cool toy.
Look at the red and black on him. Look at that.
I know.
Oh, it's pretty darn stunning. And then,
we have
as Dave was saying, we have the cult leader. And again, as Dave said, since the paint apps are different, you can really see the detail in the chain. You can see the detail in his little
vestment
thing there.
Yeah.
The Spawn of Cthulhu Mask. I mean, all of his accessories are the same as the cultist, except in the translucent plastic green.
Yeah.
And you can even, what's cool about the mask is you can actually kind of see through the translucent green to see his face. But
a little bit, yeah.
We'll take the mask off here real quick so you can see his face as compared to the
Like I said, not that easy, is it, smart guy?
So you can kind of see how both of their knives are falling out on me.
Someone was giving me static before we started filming.
So you can see the even the face, the paint on the face is pretty similar, but
well, they're cultists. Not everything has to be completely different.
Right, but they are distinct paint apps, and they look really cool. I mean, they look cool standing next to their gun.
I honestly kind of regret not getting an extra cultist.
Yeah.
I have like two of them.
Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah. Very, very cool looking though. I mean, beautiful, beautiful figures, and like I said, the little Spawn.
They're very cool.
Spawn of Cthulhu Mask, the translucent plastic is neat. They are just simply stunning figures. And kudos.
Like I said, that guy just completely hit all my nostalgia buttons.
Yes. And again, this was going to be Dave's least favorite character, and it turned out to be his most favorite.
Second favorite.
And of course, the black vinyl cape, which is very, very reminiscent of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like from the back, if he covered his hands, kind of.
I mean, that guy you could literally use that as the Emperor. In fact, he's kind of cooler than the Emperor.
He is kind of cooler than the Emperor. Love it though. Amazing, amazing figures from Warpo. There you go, guys. There's a look at the very amazing Legends of Cthulhu line from Warpo Toys. Now,
hopefully wave 1.
Hopefully wave 1. Hopefully we get more waves in the future of Cthulhu.
I hope so. I would really love for them to do the author figure for like a wave 2, maybe. You'd only have to reuse the body. Migo, the fungi from Yugoth, I think would be a cool toy to do. The Ghoul from Pikmin's model would be a cool design. And my personal favorite, my favorite stories at the Mountains of Madness,
right?
The old ones would be a very neat, cool, sort of monster to do.
Right.
So that would be my dream wave 2.
Yeah.
Warpo.
And a place like a cultist cave.
Like a cultist cave with a little altar, And
a little sacrificial figure that becomes the Spawn of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And of course, I would absolutely buy the big Cthulhu in a heartbeat.
Yes.
So
as I'm sure many people would.
I'm sure. I understand. Honestly,
that.
I think that would probably be a good second Kickstarter.
Right.
I think people would support that enough to get it made.
I think so too. But guys, if you want to check out more information on these, you can go to warpo.com. I do think that they are going to open a store eventually, and they're going to sell these figures because I'm sure they'll have. They didn't just make enough to support.
Yeah, that'd be strange.
Yeah, I mean these figures will sell. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that discovered the Kickstarter late, or that listened to Dave and Devall's Toys and Collectibles when we talked about it.
Tens of people.
We talked about it a lot on the show, and the fact that some people didn't have the money then, but hopefully there'll still be a chance that you can buy some of these. You can go to warpo.com and check out all the details, or hopefully they'll be at C2E2 this year, and if you're in the Chicago area for C2E2, as we are, or as we will be, you can hopefully meet up with Warpo Toys and check out maybe they'll tell what they're going to do next, hopefully.
That'd be cool.
But gang, thanks to Dave Draper for bringing these over to show all of you, to give us all a good look at these amazing figures that Warpo did just a tremendous job and did the right way. I know we've harped a lot on Funko's reaction stuff, but this is how you do a vintage style figure. For somebody who does not like the vintage.
Not a fan of going backwards.
Right, Dave is not a fan of going backwards, but
I think these guys really got it.
Yes, they got it, and they get it just like we do.
Yeah.
Amazing toy line. So kudos to Warpo. You guys did an amazing job.
I think so. Yeah. I'm very happy with them. I love them. I'm glad I got them.
Yes, very glad. So I kind of wish I had a set of them now because they're pretty spectacular. They are really neat. I did have my chance, and I could not do it. But these are pretty amazing figures. So check out warpo.com, gang, and of course subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/ToyWorldOrder. Hit the subscribe button as well as like all of our videos. Smash that like button. Helps us out tremendously.
The puppet says mash it.
Mash it. Muscle? 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 Yeah. So there you go, gang. Dave and I'll be back hopefully sooner than later with an all-new review. Of course, we're still waiting on
Skeleton Warriors.
Skeleton Warriors. We're waiting on Marauders.
I can't remember the one with the superhero guys, but
yep, that one's coming. The that classic style, Secret Wars style.
Yeah, boss fights indefinitely delayed. They haven't said how long.
No. But again, we'll be back sooner than later with some new all new toy reviews, and I think here soon, Dave and I are going to take a look at the new NECA Pacific Rim 18-inch figure.
Oh, Journal Alpha.
Yeah. So we're going to be taking a look at that here real soon. So make sure you tune back in for that. But again, gang, warpo.com, check them out. Amazing stuff. Cannot stress enough. I don't know how many times I said amazing. I can't.
He said a few.
It's amazing.
They're very cool.
They are very cool. So, gang, for myself, for Dave Draper.
Keep playing with your toys.
See you next time, guys.